Tonight, a worrying picture is emerging on the impact of the pandemic on our mental health. New research shows levels of anxiety and depression are up as cases rise. Ross Lord dives into the statistics and looks at how people in one province have taken a particularly hard hit in this stressful year.
Now that the pandemic has become a way of life in Canada, there's growing evidence of its impact in a new survey of 4,000 Canadians conducted by mental health researchers.
Our goal was to really try to get a sense of how are people doing with dealing with COVID in terms of anxiety, depression, and other mental health needs.
Among their findings, 1 in 5 Canadians have been diagnosed with anxiety or depression. Anxiety levels have quadrupled since the pandemic started, and they remain 4 times higher than before the outbreak. High levels of anxiety are most prominent in Ontario, Newfoundland and Labrador, and in Nova Scotia. The survey found high levels of depression are also most prominent in Nova Scotia. A surprise when you consider the virus has been almost non-existent in the province for months. Researchers say fear of the virus among Nova Scotia's older population helps explain their findings, along with stress from another source.
We had what was the largest mass shooting in Canadian history, the Port-au-Prince mass shooting, occurring during lockdown.
The gunman's partner told police he was paranoid about the pandemic. Among other findings, things that helped people cope, like so-called online kitchen parties, have worn off 8 months into the pandemic.
What worked for them in the beginning isn't perceived as working anymore.
Even the summertime weather didn't lower the levels of anxiety and depression.
I think it really doesn't bode well for this second wave we're now experiencing, and once winter starts to hit and people are socially isolating even more, the fear, of course, is that people's mental health will deteriorate even more.
The study says COVID-19 has shone a light on shoddy mental health resources that leave people on waiting lists to access support. The good news, compared to an earlier survey from April, this one shows more Canadians are confident they'll bounce back, suggesting those who can are ready to tough it out until conditions improve. Ross Lord, Global News.